welcome, hola, what's good? Hey, y'all, hey, you are tuned in to Circle Up with Amanda Hurd. What's good, family? Listen, y'all already know I am super excited to be here with you all today. I'm super excited about this brand new season that we are launching, Pruning the Heart, the season of reflection. I cannot get enough of how good this season is going to be. And I can say that with such confidence because I have went through a lot in order to get this season out. I did a lot of this pruning before I even got here on set to be able to record it. So that is just amazing. I can't wait to share with you guys the stories, the testimonies, and all of the fun stuff that I went through. So on another note, I'm so excited about this season because I'm bringing back Circle Up's way of giving back. I don't know if you all remember, but back in season either 3 or 4, we did this thing where Circle Up would give back to the community, friends, and family by supporting small commercials to uplift their businesses or whatever it is that they have. And so I'm glad to be able to bring that back in. I'm so glad to be able to share some of the different things that I found along the way or that I've been connected to and that has helped me. And so my thing for you is when I share these things, if they spark your interest, do not wait. Run over to their websites, their Facebook accounts, or wherever I release the info for how to get in touch with them and support. That is the biggest thing you can do, right? So starting off, I'm going to be sharing with you guys something that I cannot wait for. Each and every week, I am just so excited, hoping that Thursday gets here fast enough. Why is that? Because on Thursdays, I tune in to a virtual Bible study called The Body. And The Body is held by one of my favorite God chasers called Tierra Plummer. Or I said called Tierra Plummer, but her name is Tierra Plummer. And if you all follow along with the podcast, then you know her name may sound familiar because in one of the previous seasons, she shared a testimony that 25K ain't nothing. Listen, I love this jewel. She is just so phenomenal in the way that she teaches. Is so interesting and so needed in the time that we live in. If you guys are looking for a Bible study, if you're looking for somewhere to get some good word on a Thursday, you just can't quite wait till the weekend, tune in to the Body Virtual Bible Study Club. It is every Thursday via Facebook. And all you have to do is, go to Facebook, type in the Body Bible Study, and it will pop up just, hey, click a link. Click join or follow or however it is that Facebook is set up. And I'm telling you, you are going to love this. You'll love her and you'll love the actual Bible study. She just has a way of digging deep into the word. The word. She goes and tells you prehistory. She tells you who, why, when, where, and even leaves you with a question that is going to help you dig deeper into yourself. So once again, I say, if you're looking for some more word to fill your spirit, then on Thursday nights, tune in to the Body Virtual Bible Study Club. You're going to love it. Okay, so now that the wait is over, we are about to dive deep into our first episode of Season 6. Quick to listen, slow to speak. Grab your snacks, drinks, and chairs, and let's get ready to circle up. So, maybe somebody out there is thinking or wondering, why this title, right? Like, what does this have to do with pruning of the heart? What does quick to listen and slow to speak have anything to do with my next level in life? Considering that this entire season deals with pruning, stripping away, tearing down, uprooting the things that are unneeded and unwanted in our hearts to reach us to that next space. Well, although quick to listen and slow to speak is a piece of a scripture in a Bible, because it is not the full scripture, it's something that came to mind when I was having a conversation with one of my sisters. And the craziest thing about it is me and this particular sister, we talk all the time. Like, our relationship, our bond has grown so strong. And It's crazy because it's to a point or a place now where I got so comfortable in our conversations. It's almost like I knew exactly where she was and where she was coming from when she would say certain things or particular things, or when she shared certain things that was bothering her. It's almost like I got so comfortable in knowing where she was coming from that I stopped in my tracks and I stopped listening, being quick to listen. And I was being quick to speak. So I was being so quick in responding and slow to listen. I had that all flipped around the wrong way. And it really didn't even stand out to me because, like I said, I was so comfortable and so used to being just that answer or that reason, or being so excited to be able to share with her what I know or what I've grown through, that it didn't matter in that moment after I dissected now, because in the moment, me, without dissecting this problem, I thought I was giving her exactly what she needed. But I grew to learn that I was completely wrong. Like, I was giving her what I thought she needed because I was no longer taking time to listen to what she was saying, to hear where she was coming from. But I was so ready to speak and give her what I thought she needed. I don't know how many of us out there do this, but I can guarantee this, that if you are one that is quick to speak and find it challenging to listen, then that next place, that next level, that next slot of you, that chapter of you, who you are becoming or growing into, is going to be very, very challenging. It's going to be very, very difficult because it takes wisdom in order to be able to navigate through your next level. And without wisdom, then you'll find yourselves running in circles and doing the same things, saying the same things, running the same laps that you've previously ran before. You'll wonder why nothing around you is changing. It seems like you're in new places, but you're still living the old lifestyle. And that's because a lack of wisdom has arisen inside of you. And so this entire season is to awaken that wisdom. It's to rid those things that are keeping you from that wisdom. I remember this particular conversation took place after I came back from a semi-long vacation. And when I got back, well, while I was on vacation, we didn't talk for quite some time because we have this thing where, when we're out and we're relaxing and, we're enjoying time with our family or whatnot, we kind of respect that time and we kind of let each other be, and we hold everything that we have because we believe that a lot of what we have is kind of heavy. And so we're like, I ain't gonna put nothing too heavy on you while you're out, doing what you do, while you're trying to relax and, free your mind. And so we kind of just disconnect, but not disconnect, if that makes sense. Like we just give each other space in that time. And so it's been a couple of weeks or whatnot, and I finally get home, and I'm so excited because now that I'm home, I'm like, ooh, let me get back in my, regular routine. Let me call my sisters and talk to my sisters and see how they've been and what I missed, because I know one day holds so much. And so at this time, I get on the phone and I'm so excited to hear what she has to say. But at the same time, I didn't recognize that because there was a gap, because there was a time that we didn't get to share words with one another, I was more excited to share with her what I've learned and what I've grown to know. And so as she began to speak to me and she was telling me how she was feeling and why she was feeling what she was feeling, she said one thing that triggered a response, that triggered an answer inside of me. And I completely stopped listening to everything else she was saying. I completely stopped listening to the tempo of her breath, the way she was, breathing in and out sentences. Like all of the tools that I used to use prior to this vacation, I completely dismissed them because I was so anxious and so ready to be her answer. I learned in that without hearing, then there is no answer. And what I mean by that, let me break that down. What I mean by that is if you can't understand understand what the person means by what they're saying. It creates a language barrier, and without being able to hear and understand that language, then you can't give them the correct tools or give them the correct answer to their situation. And as I was saying, since I blocked all of those things out, and that one thing that triggered my response, I spoke before she even finished speaking. And so I was so ready to encourage her, and I was like, girl, you got it. I was like, just pray about it. You know better than that, and I was like, we got this, and you're stronger than that. And I was giving her all these amazing moments of encouragement, all these amazing words, impactful, empowering words that will normally, kickstart you right into that place where you need to be. And, not that these words didn't hold any weight, but they were weightless in this situation because they were not the words that were needed. Although they are words that work and are words that hold a lot of power, it was not the correct power for this situation. And so I didn't even know it at the moment because I want to say at this particular conversation, it was a few of us on the line, and my other sister was tag teaming with me, and we were just kind of giving her what we had, and we were excited about what we had. And it wasn't until the next day when we talked again, she was like, well, what I was trying to say yesterday before you got all giving me what I need. She was like, was, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, okay, yeah, And still, I'm in this place where in my mind, I'm about to shut her out again. And what I mean by that, I wasn't going to be rude and tell her, like, okay, well, this is the answer. You either take it or leave it, da-da-da-da-da. By shutting her off, I was literally just going to stop listening to her in my mind again, stop listening to what she was saying, and believe that she just wasn't hearing what I was saying. And I was going to refeed her what I was saying. I was going to retell her, explain to her in depth what I meant by what I said. But because I literally caught myself about to cancel her out, I was able to hear the very next thing she said. And what she said explained everything that she was meaning when she said the first thing. And I felt so dumb. I felt so stupid because it's not that I didn't even have, something to help her from that place of where she was. But I felt so dumb because I gave her the wrong answer because I literally did not finish listening to the entire sentence, to the entire, moment or experience that she was having. I didn't really get the details of what she meant by what she said. And that just messed up the entire situation. And instead of apologizing or saying, oh, I was wrong, I should have listened, I went in and I was like, oh, well, I thought you were saying, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, well, in that case. So that's the second part of this, because it's not even that she took it wrong or, was upset with me at the fact that I didn't apologize. She probably didn't even feel like she needed an apology, but something pricked my heart. And that's where I knew this was a deeper issue than what was at surface. And I began to think on that for a few days. I began to think on that. And matter of fact, I want to say it was a good week. And it kept playing back in my head over and over and over and over again. And I was like, you know what? I wonder how often I do this. I was like, at one point, I was a really good listener. And I think that I'm falling short to that side of me. And that's a great side of me. I don't want to not be able to give people what they need. And if I want to give people a healthy answer, then I need to be in a healthy situation. My ears need to be submissive to the words that are coming out of their mouth. And as I thought about, the more I may have been doing this in different areas of my life, it made me jot it down in my notes. And I was like, this is something that we should talk about. This is something that I have to, put out on air, because I think a lot of us do this. I think this is how we get the wrong answers all the time. I think this is how things, get stirred up in relationships, and we begin to not be able to want to bring each other our situations or our problems because we feel unheard, or we feel like the person is uneducated or not wise enough to help us into a safe canceled place. And so I'm thinking if maybe we can just reintroduce what it means, what it sounds like, what it feels to be quick to listen and slow to speak. Maybe we can change that thing and get back to healing those hearts, get back to really helping people navigate through their tough situations. I asked myself in the midst of this journey, in the midst of this experience, what does it mean to listen? What does it mean to hear? Is there a difference between listening and hearing? And the more I began to dissect that thing, I was like, wow, hearing is what I was doing. Hearing is allowing the noise wave to go through one ear and out the other. I heard that. Just like you guys may have heard thunder in the background not long ago, you didn't really pay attention and stop in your tracks and like, what was that? You allowed that thing to go in one ear and out the other and continue to focus in to what I was saying. But listening is something completely different. Listening would have caused you to silence me and tune in to that thing that grabbed your ear. And I believe that that is the biggest help that we have in these situations when we're at a place where we're trying to prune our hearts in this particular situation. We have to learn to silence out the things that are around what we're trying to listen to. Silence out the noise that is around what we are trying to listen to, what we are trying to take root to, what we are trying to really be a part of. And sometimes that can be challenging. And that's why it's important that we practice this principle: quick to listen, slow to speak. Are you speaking? This is a question that I ask myself. And so I'm asking you all today, especially those of you who are in a leadership position, or those of you who are in a training position where you're training people or in discipleship to go to draw near and be more like Christ. Like, are you seeking to share the gospel, or are you trying to share how much you know? And for those of us who may want to use this principle in different areas of life, which I think is phenomenal and that we should, when you're at work, are you seeking to share all of what you have, all of what you know? Are you really seeking to help the other individuals grow up to a place where maybe one day they can be where you are, or even exceed where you are? Like, what are you doing? What is your purpose? What is your heart's desire in that moment? There's not enough of us that really take time to really allow our heart to go forth in those situations. Like, what we really want a lot of the times is a little more wicked than what we say out of our mouth. And it's crazy because a lot of times you'll grow to learn that what is in the heart will flow from the mouth. And it's funny because our hearts a lot of times are, like I was just saying, a little more wicked than what we allow our mouths to show. But in due time, our mouths start repeating the errors of the heart. And that's where we have to be careful, because if not, we will get caught up. So it's important, again, I say, to practice this principle: quick to listen, slow to speak. Are your plans to grow the kingdom or to grow your audience? Are your plans to grow the people or to grow your people? Are your plans, wherever you are, is to get high up and leave everybody behind? Or are your plans to get high up and pull everybody up with you? What are your plans? What is your heart saying? It's easy to surrender, or not surrender, but it's easy to say out of your mouth the thing that sounds right. But are you doing the thing that is wrong? And see, that's where the heart will not let you down. If you speak out of your mouth something that is going against the heart, your actions are going to team up with your heart, and it's going to reveal your truth. So again, I say, practice this principle: quick to listen, slow to speak. Is it about you, or is it about God? That's the final question I left myself with. Is it about you, or is it about God? That's where I really had to check my heart. In that moment when I was talking to her and I found myself being pierced because I didn't give her an apology, was that moment more so about me, or was it about God receiving the glory? And like I said, she probably didn't even expect me to apologize. She probably didn't feel like, oh, there's no apology needed. What was wrong? But I knew that something wasn't right. I knew that a wrong had been done. And I should have apologized. If I would have apologized, it would have given God glory. Let me tell you how it would have given him glory. Because it would have opened her eyes to maybe even something that may be inside of her, or maybe she came across before that was like, hey, I think I do this sometimes. That's amazing that she stopped and took the time out to expose that wrong and get it right. I appreciate her. I honor her. You see, this is why I love her. So not only would it have glorified him, but it would have also raised me up. So many times we fight to be the one on top. We fight to be the one that knows. We fight to be the one that has it all. We fight to be the one that looks good in the light. But then we do things that continuously take us 2 to 3 steps down the ladder. We're doing all of this stuff to climb up the ladder. But then our actions show forth or come forth and expose our truth, and it pushes us down 2 to 3 more steps. So we never get up there. But I'm telling you the truth, that after you clean your heart and we rid all of these things that are disgusting or that are keeping us from those places, the more it glorifies him, the more he will glorify you. And the more you raise him up, this is what it means, the more he'll bring you up. And so that place that you think that you can't reach or that you are striving to reach so badly, before you know it, you'll be up there and won't even recognize it, because it won't be the very thing at your heart anymore. It will be more so about everybody else, more so about those that you can help, those that you can reach, those that you can grow. It wouldn't be about you hoarding anything, but about you giving everything. And that's a heart matter. So I say one last time, practice this principle. Let's begin to cut away these overgrown branches that maybe we weren't at first sight knowingly that was, something was wrong there. Maybe this episode helped you realize that, okay, that might need to be removed. But I tell you something, that when we begin to break these branches, cut away these branches, rid these branches, we'll be one step closer to increasing our fruitfulness and headed towards growth. Well, that's all I have for you all today. Thank you so much again for tuning in to Circle Up with Amanda Hurd. I'm so excited about this season. I believe that because you are tuned in, because this is a series that is all about self-reflect, that we are going to find ourselves in a better position after this season is over. Listen, if you want more of this, if you are just all in and you can use a little bit more encouragement throughout the week, I encourage you to run over to our Facebook and Instagram page. That is at circleup_AH. Follow, tag along, get connected, whatever it is that you need to do to get all of this goodness. There's multiple newsletters to help you place your focus in a great way. There's Monday morning prayers that go out here on this podcast platform to help you get your focus right and get motivated for the week. There's so much we have. And listen, if there's something that maybe you did not see that you are looking for, feel free to reach out to us, and I'm sure we can connect you to someone who has it. Be blessed, guys. Bye.